Hey guys, it's Corey from the Northwoods RV Life, and today we're talking winterizing your RV. So let's go ahead and get this started, and don't forget to subscribe. Hey guys, it's starting to turn cold outside, and it's that time of year we all hate. It's time to go ahead and winterize the RV. Usually it only takes a few gallons of antifreeze to winterize our RV, and that's using the Camco winterizing kit I installed on our pump last fall. I'll include a link down below in case you're interested in that. So let's go outside and we'll start by draining the hot water heater. Inside here you'll have a drain plug. If it's a Suburban, it's got an anno rod, that's your drain plug. And Atwood will have a plastic plug. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull that anno rod out to drain him out. Little tip, this is a two-piece design on the front face of this. You can put some Turnabond tape on there to help seal that. Draining these, water can get in that crack right there, and you can get water feeding back up underneath your kitchen cupboards and cause water damage. So the Turnabond will help seal that up. Okay, so we got a 1 1/16 inch socket. Go ahead and we'll get him broken loose. We pull this out, we're probably going to get a little wet. Oh no, there it is. Go ahead, we're going to drain that water here. You can see our anno rod has been trying to work, protecting that tank. We use a magnesium one in this because the aluminum ones don't seem to deteriorate as fast, and I'd rather this deteriorate in the tank. I just put a new one in every year, even though there's plenty of life still in that. I go ahead and I put a new one in it every year. They're only like $9 on Amazon. And I'll put a link down below for that. Alright, now that we got that going, we can open up the pressure relief here to give it some air. And we can go ahead and let that run out of there. Alright, once it's pretty much done, I'll go ahead and I'll just slide this back in there for right now. And go ahead and let that drain for a little bit. And I'll go ahead and I'll screw that in there loosely before we go ahead and put this in storage. That way it keeps insects from getting up inside that tank over the winter. Now that our hot water heater is drained, we can go ahead and we move over and we can open up our low point drains. Alright, we're going to reach up under here. This is our low point drains that drain the water out of the water lines in the camper. We're going to go ahead and open those up, see if there's any water still in there. Now that we're back inside the RV, the first thing we need to do is bypass our hot water heater. Every trailer is going to be a little bit different, and you may have some different configuration of valves that you need to turn on or off to be able to accomplish this. Ours has a single three-way valve at the bottom and a check valve at the top. We have seen other RV models of 2 valve configurations and 3 valve configurations. So this is our pump. Our pump is located on this RV underneath of the RV refrigerator, and we installed this pump last year because the old one finally gave out, and we also installed the screen and a winterizing kit over here that lets us winterize right here at the pump without having to put RV Antifreeze in our freshwater tank. Okay, to start, we're going to go ahead and we're going to open up our bottle of antifreeze right here. And we're going to grab our hose that we have here from our winterizing kit. And what we do is we try to get this bottle as close here to the compartment as we can. And we put that hose down into the bottle. Now, some RVs might not have this problem. Ours does, because it sure would be nice if that hose was just a little bit longer, and I may do that next year. Okay, sometimes I have to lean these to be able to get the hose in deep enough to get all the way down to the bottom of the bottle. What we do is we go in here and we flip our bypass valve here. Right here it's set up to pull from the tank. And we're going to turn that so that it pulls from our hose. And that way it'll pull from our jug of RV antifreeze here. Go ahead and flip on your switch up there. Right here you see the RV antifreeze getting pulled into the pump and into our water lines. And you see how fast this is pulling it down in here, this tank. Go ahead and pull it, shut that switch off. Okay. And sometimes this is about as far down as what we can get sucked out of the bottle, and that's fine. We have to put some in our P-traps and things as well. So we'll move on to the second bottle. Alright, bottle number 2. You see it pumping the RV antifreeze out of the bottle here. So once you have RV antifreeze pumped up in the lines, we want to go around to all of our fixtures, and we want to turn on both the cold and the hot water sides to make sure that everything runs pink through the faucets. As a reminder, other areas of concern is make sure that you're running antifreeze through your toilet, your shower head, and your outdoor shower. We'll go ahead and we'll put what was left in the bottom of our jugs in here just to have some extra in the P-trap. Make sure that's good to go. Okay, so you can see our lines are full of antifreeze. And our strainer is full. So our pump is all protected and our strainer is protected. And water lines are ready to go for winter. Other RV makes and models might have additional appliances like dishwashers, maybe ice makers, or even washers and dryers. You need to make sure that anywhere there's fresh water that we run the antifreeze completely through the system. Now that the RV is all winterized, we turn our attention to 2 items before it goes to storage, and that's rodent and moisture control. So we've always turned to Irish Spring and dryer sheets to deter rodents from entering the RV during storage. Now I know there's a lot of controversy out there whether Irish Spring works or doesn't work. We've always had good luck with it, and we've stuck with that. Just in case we do get a mouse in the RV during storage, we place a couple sticky traps in the lower cabinets. Hopefully trap that mouse before they have time to nest and breed. Living here in Michigan, we have our fair share of humidity and moisture, and storing your RV over the winter is no exception. We use damp-rid products in our RV while we store it for the winter so that we can keep humidity levels down, so when we open up our camper in the spring, we're not dealing with damage and mold. I'll include a link down below for those damp-rid products in case you're interested. So now that the RV is winterized, the only thing left is to hitch up and haul her to storage in the morning and put her to bed until spring. Not to worry though, just because the RV is in storage doesn't mean that there's not more great content coming out each week in the off season to get us through until Salem comes out in spring and we hit the road again. So thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that little subscribe button right down there. And don't forget to ring the little bell. And after that, go ahead and enjoy another one of these great videos. We'll see you out there.